Hello everyone, I am here, joined by Natnif in the commentary box, and today we're introducing a brand new roster into the Quick Esports family after the frankly saddening, I guess you could call it leaving of the original roster in the OWCS scene, but we're possibly improving, possibly just getting another great team in here. Quick Esports have signed Gibble Mirai from the FACEIT Master Series, currently 6-2 in record, and today they're gonna take on LiL Ducks, who are currently sitting at a less maybe impressive but still solid 3-5 record going into here today. They've had some good impressive performances as well. How are you doing today, Natnif?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be back here with you, and yeah, I can agree that I had a lot of questions, as so many people did. What was the direction Quick was going to go? We knew they were going to bring back a team, into the main stage again. But where were they going to go? And I think genuinely they have some really big shoes to fill, but the potential on this roster, especially looking at that tank line, I mean, Golden Pants has been, you've been talking of him, Matthew, for ages and ages. This guy is a bundle of potential, most known for his Wrecking Ball, but I think you mentioned he got like champ on Winston incredibly quickly as well, learning that character, picking him up very well. And Tracer, of course, he's a champion DPS player too, but I'm doubtful we'll see that come into play much this series, and they'll be giving their all. And with a DPS lineup of Fenris and Evil as well, two very talented player. Fenris previously went by the name of Piku, I think, right? Piku. You gotta tell me how to pronounce the name, man. Piku Kapu. Mostly known for their Ashe performance, and Evil as well. Really been on the up recently, as always. Their montage has always been going super hard, but yeah, a decent opponent to really kind of prove your mettle, prove your worth, and continue to have a decent standing, like you said. Currently around the middle, upper middle of the pack, currently sitting at 5th, 6-2. So yeah, who are you going to keep your eye on, Matthew, coming in to this match for both teams here today?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned, it's a very respectable roster here that's going to be joining the Quick franchise, and honestly, there's not one particular person I'm gonna be looking out for today, considering we're yet to see really how we're yet to see them play, so we can really get a good eye on everyone here today, see how the team plays, especially considering that impressive 6-2 record. I believe their only losses this season have come to the other top teams here as well in the region, as I'm trying to find this information right now, but yeah, while I look for that information, it is an important thing to keep an eye out here on, like you mentioned, Golden Pants as well. Considering that flexibility is a big factor in play, they played Iari as well in an official as well, which is it was a very surprising thing to see, to be frank. And we should be heading into this game relatively shortly as well, if not even right now. We're hearing the map picks are going into play as we speak. And
yeah.
Yeah, what do you think here about this matchup here today, Natnif? Who do you think is gonna have the edge?
I'm getting some pretty nasty flashbacks to when we faced Golden Pants back in one of our CGL runs on this map. We were kind of like, not too worried about his ball on this map, and we're completely proven wrong, because it turns out Golden Pants on ball on any map is an issue, and they're going to be running, of course, that Freya that's been oh so popular on a Brig as well, a little bit less popular than you most expect, but Quick Esports banning out their Rest makes a lot of sense, right? Like, if you're gonna disable that kind of early, close, short form rule on these kind of maps to open up more of your ball play, then absolutely go for it. But LiL Ducks taking away Evil's Tracer here too, but I see Lucio on. Do you think we're gonna stick on armor here?
It's a possibility.
Probably, right?
Yeah, we're looking to probably get some nade angles in here with those slams. A very potent combo, you could say. And that's just speaking of potent, Aku Fastly falls instantly to Fenris. And that's really shocking. Some of that hits can threat there. Really, we mentioned Fenris earlier here as well as a player to keep an eye out on. Really a similar hero pool to Merit in some scenarios, and it's showing that the incredible hitscan skill, finding 2 early picks before the point has even started to unlock, and that is going to be LiL Ducks on the back foot here, having to give up space for this composition. And now you're going to have to question, how is this retake going to happen, as Golden Pants is going to be swinging and slamming down on this main open angles. Possibly going to be tough for LiL Ducks here to get through this choke point.
I mean, yeah, Fenris is mostly known him for his Ashe right now. He is the one on fire over his enemies. That said, LiL Ducks have me from that position. Nade comes in. Suzy was out, but only onto members not able to capitalize. It's very difficult to walk into Evil, dueling off from the side, but has the help there of Garu to try and punish onto this Genji. They're barely getting cared out there by Podnova. In fact, Evil, through of HP, barely clinging on the point, now being tested by Jinx on this hazard. Podnova also rocketing towards the first ult again. That's an ace, so close to the nano. Point has been flipped, the Evil goes down. Effort being shredded out there by the slam from Golden Pants. Trying to chase on Akufasa again, will just barely take that one through. Quick flip, surely it coming back to favor of Quick Esports. They have the minefield to ensure that won't even need that. And Jinx has to just throw himself into the Viper's pit there. The sacrificial lamb for basically only 11%. Maybe select Stagger's hero, so. Ooh.
Ooh, an early pick from Podnova here to try and effort has popped that bowl. Doesn't seem to find the value with it though necessary to turn this around quite yet. Minefield is in play. These choke points and this point side is very dangerous to go into without being conscious of it. Surely Little Ducks will respond to this by trying to W nerd, and they're just that. Fenrir just found Kurama though, but the Golden Pants is out for a while. Nano Boost being popped here in by IS, and there's gonna be a slam in play onto main. Isn't gonna hit anyone, but is creating enough pressure. Possibly going to be splitting up the Little Ducks roster here. Maybe Quick have to give up the point here though. But Minefield is in play, booping in Jinx with that crit hit as well. And just gonna try to stall this point out here for as long as you can. Maybe try to get the pick onto Jinx here finally. Nah, does time to get out, but it is the space taken back which is necessary. And now you can relax a little bit at Quick Esports here. Still under the Gibble Mirai name on the bottom screen in FACEIT. As the beat is being popped by Whitebeard, and they're going in hard here. There's no time to rest, no time to change casting partner. And it's going to be the fight ending play, and possibly the point ending play here. As that really dogfight, the almost 40-50% being played there out without ever resting. And it is looking like Little Ducks aren't gonna be able to get a retouch here. Hazard will being popped onto Golden Pants to try to stop the engagement, but it's not gonna amount to anything. And a really strong early start here from Quick, showcasing some very good early team play.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the kind of start you want. You know the momentum you want to build, not only coming to the stage, but also coming into FACEIT Master League Season 5 as a whole. Overall, you've had some pretty impressive performances, but you do want to prove yourself again. Big shoes to fill coming up onto that kind of top 3, top 4 environment. I mean, Fenris really impressive there. Golden Pants as well, the whole team. This comp just seems to really be a lot of their comfort, even despite the Tracer ban. Evil doing a good job. Fenris, Golden Pants, and Garu all deathless as well. If there was a fantasy league for Little Ducks here, you'd be absolutely fuming and stocks rising up here. But I mean, yeah, this bull comp, it's such a difficult style to prepare for, it feels a lot of the times. And when you are good at him, you are damn good at him. That's what Golden Pants is looking to prove. Going on to the Brig here from Whitebeard. Typically, I think Brig can struggle sometimes to keep the Ana alive. Ana has kind of historically been more difficult to play into this Freya, but the amount of pressure that Golden Pants are able to put onto the enemy Freya, Fenris on this Ashe can be a lot more uncontested and just continue to try and range fire. Akufasa, oh my goodness, is getting burned out of the lobby so fast. Again, the first pick to come through, but a trade here from Evil could really shake things up unless Golden Pants can not only stay alive, but get a second hit coming on through.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of matchup where you really have to look at who goes first, considering if Little Ducks aren't able to press W onto this ball comp and really close the space down, and not allow those slams to happen in proper territory, you're going to be struggling a lot. And Quick are playing for these open areas and going in with the slam, and Jinx has fallen down to that crit grappling perk. It really does hit that quite hard, and there's a hack onto Kurama as well here from Evil. Maybe going to be able to find the late pick here, as Golden Pants doing a little bit of tech there. Very nicely done, but you know, it's gonna be us getting the pick onto Akufasa there.
Oh my goodness, he's still going for it. No, no. That has to be illegal. That is rough, because at least I got onto Kurama there, and I mean, this is what Golden Pants is known for. That tech you mentioned being so disruptive, and with that crit perk, he's able to really put the heat onto Jinx. Effort though, and Podnova both coming up to ult. They're going to have a fair few side of Quick though, nano boost, rally as well, try and sustain through Bob too. Quick also have a lot in the arms to throw out, avoiding the high ground as well. Don't find too much value in that. Once you're just trying to bunker down away and rotate away from the Little Ducks to make it as many hits as possible for the ball to have, forcing out the backline. But Effort has Whitebeard, Garu back in his sights, point now being contested. So who's going to make the first move? Who can get their hit off more effectively? And can Quick survive the oncoming onslaught?
Yeah, I mean, the way Little Ducks probably wants to play this is, put your core inside of that room, and well, they're just popping a critical rush, as I'm saying, and it's being matched by a really good wall, though, to split the team. Evil has found effort, though. There's a bob on point as well, and it's doing just the job that you want it to, denying a bit of space there, zoning the enemy team out, and a good minefield play as well there from Golden Panthers. Exited the fight, really, before we could even start talking about it. And now it's really getting down to these, last fights here, possibly. You've got a nano boost EMP coming up. Lil Ducks are farmed up on ults here, so if you hit one good one, you could turn the tide around here. But you have to be wary of these positions that Quick want to play. And
I mean,
so we're seeing an early slam possibly coming in here. No, but an early nade onto effort, and that's a bowl at Jax and a missed hazard ultimate. There's a nano boosted Fenris in your front line. Be careful. But no, it's Quick who needs to be careful. Kurama has found two people with the blade. Evo and Whitebeard have fallen down on point. As now it's gonna be Lil Ducks' turn to press down the W key and get this point. Possibly try to fight for a eventual turn. Yes, Aku Fasir is popping the beat to help his backline stay alive.
I mean, that's
to help their backline stay alive. But yeah, it's just enough. But that's a lot of ultimates being popped there to take that fight under their control.
Yeah, in the midst of it all, Golden Pants 75% to that minefield from that fight. Evil still holds on to the EMP, and Lil Ducks, especially with that beat being done, that was massive value from Golden Pants just to force out basically out of sheer panic there. But now they have nothing to mitigate to soften the blow of the EMP from Evil, who's trying to set up. But again, he has to try and weasel his way into an area where the rest of his team can follow up, getting inside the LOS of his backline of his core. Just going to catch the point moment. In the meantime, while setting up for that, Jinx has traded his life to take out the enemy Arna, but Effort getting a good trade. The positive has come through, and now you have the advantage of the minefield on top of the air touch, even more difficult. And Effort just getting juggled away from it as well. Can't really do all that too much. Jinx back on the Doomstorm eventually, but as all the pocket right now onto Effort, and none. The rest of their team has always fallen apart to cinders and rubble. As Quick Esports only have to deal with this last remaining Doomfist to take this point 99-35 and take Oasis 2-0. Put them up in the first map of their new branding under the Quick family.
Yeah, I mean, really impressive showing there. Really, putting an example to why the only two losses they've received this season have been to some of the most top teams here in the region at the moment for the EMEA Master scene. Those being Reds and Ereus, and yeah, really showcasing that even throughout those losses, which they've been highly competitive in from what I've seen, and really showing in this map one. Of course, the first map is always a bit of a bundle. It depends on matchups and who wins the first fight. That obviously has a big impact on the way the game goes. But it's really looking like a strong performance here so far from each individual member of the team as well. Especially, I would like to give credit to that IS trade onto the hazard there. Really showcasing that you're willing to trade your life to win the fight, which is something you love to see in a team environment. You're not gonna go selfishly about it and try to take all the glory for yourself. Instead, just trade out the tank, and that help Quick there take the first map with a nice flip of the map as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, both those rosters or those teams are very self-sufficient, but you need your tank in both those compositions. Ironically, you don't need the Arna so much with that Bull composition. Like, it's nice to have Nade with the Dynamite combo, but as long as you're doing it, your Bull hits in the LOS of one of those two. Very impressive stuff there. The Sombra coming into play as well from Evil. Not something I've known him all that too much. I've mostly been the trace of the Genji, but I have seen a pretty heavy rise of Sombra recently in matches. Hoping maybe you give you some shed some light on that. Is it specifically into the hazard to again like really threaten all those dives, because you have to dive into the sleep, into the hack? Is it to deal? I've heard it's pretty good at dueling into the Freya as well. What are your thoughts on why we might be seeing the Sombra come out from Evil here?
Well, I would like to say that it's due to what just currently flying around the meta at the moment. Like you said, it deals with the Freya quite well with being invisible and being able to get a hack off on that if you want. But I believe one of the main reasons is the fact that you lock the hazard out of the block and the leap if he goes in deep. And then the same with Orisa, where you hack it, then you can start crit hitting the Orisa, which is one of those things where it starts to hurt a lot when it does hit you. And it just gives a lot of viability to counter these meta compositions and give you a direct answer to what's going up against you. So even when a composition like the Ball could typically struggle against an Orisa, which was banned the previous map, the Sombra can make it a bit more manageable, as the Orisa won't feel as comfortable to just go in and split LOS for a little bit, since the hack is gonna be so dangerous. Especially canceling the spin and making the fortify nullified at least against one character on the opposing team. And then as well, when you consider that the major virus perk, which starts to then spread out if you virus a hack target, then that damage pumps up quite fast, and you get those EMPs in a rapid rate, which kind of mirrors the original Sombra, where you would charge up EMP, you would play the character purely for the ultimate, and here it's now played to counter the tank and get those quick ultimates available for yourself.
Yeah. Definitely, I think we've seen play with the other Sombra perk as well, the healing perk. I'm not. I think I even saw in the Saudi E League some of the members of this team is playing in there, and I saw them using it out there. But I guess we do have to address Orisa, right? Like the Orisa ban is now gone; it's out of play here, and actually we are seeing. I'm assuming the bans have not just been updated just yet. But we are seeing Rory come in over Whitebeard. That was going to be. I guess the question for me is, Rory is the person that I know the least of this roster, and your Golden Pants has been working with stability, but Quick Esports are happy to kind of show this synchronicity, this duo of tank players coming into play. That Bat Brig Orisa as well, I imagine is very difficult at time for bull comps to thrive into. So the use of their bans, not only to protect their own comp, but also to disable that, is going to be important. We'll have to wait and see what the plays are going to be and what those bans are going to, because that will shape up that. But I believe actually it's Bull that is banned and Brig that is banned from the side of Little Ducks. Little Ducks banned Briggs, and Quick Esports banned Brig, and Little Ducks of course banned the Wrecking Bull.
Yeah, no, I do like the Brigitte ban here from Quick, as banning the ball obviously is targeted at Golden Pants. But from what I can understand, I would say Lil Dux's comfort probably here is the Orisa if it was the target ban for map 1. And by banning the Brigitte, you take away some of that Orisa's stay alive value, that stability value that you would want from the character. And you're leaning more towards this rushy style where you're just trying to walk forward, where it's a lot more counterable directly compared to the Juno Brig, where the Orisa's gonna stay alive forever. And it's really difficult to also deal with the backline simultaneously. And we're gonna see just that a Kiriko Lucio Rush Orisa matchup here. Orisa, does deny the value of the Freya quite a bit, since Freya it doesn't really like dealing with the armor. So you're more going to try to hit the squishies here. So going to be a matchup of who can hit those skill shots more and try to get onto that backline, those squishies, and deal with them quicker. I'm not sure if they're gonna both sides keep the Symmetra here just for the TP. Symmetra, an answer we've seen a little bit in WCS against the Orisa as well, with some compositions like the Ramatra. But it does look like we're gonna see a Tracer mirror here from both sides, a direct mirror of compositions.
Yes, all going to be the execution. Both teams now meeting at the forefront of this war is going to be placed just on this early high ground here. Fenris, again, it is going to be a bit of a matchup between Fenris and F. Fenris coming up top previously. We're trying to get an off angle. Being marked out a bit there by Kurama, but they're all trying to get the pressure on. Suzu forced out from the Lux is a big resource, and Jinx is feeling the heat from it. Like you said, like the armor is gone, and so is Jinx immediately wiped off the field there. Rory as well coming into the roster to play that Orisa. No doubt, I guess, much more of a comfort pick over what Golden Pants might like to play here as well. The first fight goes the way of Quicken. I mean, pretty easily they just force out the cleanse with some more pressure, some more angles, and Jinx just falls under that weight.
Yeah, and I'm quite curious because I was aware that Rory does play the game for the previous Noticeable Mirror roster, but we didn't see Rory on the announcement for the Quick team, so I wasn't sure if Rory was going to be kept around, but it does seem like it has happened, and the value seems immense. Obviously that Orisa got burnt out heavily, but so is Evil, and it's a Kurama instead of melee in the Tracer duel, and that's a 5v4, and Jinx has found IS, and this is just where you want to hit those skill shots, those skill duels. You're getting rid of the squishy matchups, and now it's just Little Ducks is fight to take for free basically. Where it's just some of those things where you're talking about stuff during casting and then something happens out of nowhere. I'm caught quite off guard by that, but yeah, really unfortunate event there for Quick to lose Evil quite early there, but I'm sure Kurama hit some nasty clip shot there to get rid of Evil that quickly.
I mean, that is the volatile nature of this comp. All these side fights going on all the time. The kind of maybe 2v2, sometimes 1v1 duel of marking out the enemy tracer. And sometimes, yeah, you just get a nasty clip on you and well, the enemy Lucio chips in a couple too many shots and catches you off guard. But Quick Esports have also walk back here. Good with the Kiriko rush thrown out first. Effort getting topped back off and actually takes out Dara in the meantime. So no beat available. Akifoster has that if needed. But right now, the up one, Rory's armor is gone and his life surely forfeit to it as well. And LiL Ducks, if they can stagger out the rest of this fight, there's almost no chance to come back. So it's all going to be all hands on deck for this retreat here. Can they even get a touch through? I'm wondering where Evil is sitting. I think it's Evil going all the way around the right there. Maybe even Garo going to join him there to get this touch through, but it's going to be difficult. Evil though will secure the overtime, so a lifeline has been bought. It's going to be Garo maybe next up in the chopping block, but no touch to come through. They can't fathom the rest of the forces to get in. So the next point instead, first flashpoint goes the way of LiL Ducks.
I wouldn't be too unhappy there's Quick though, as well, there's a pick on to Aku Fastlier, but you did get an ultimate burned out from just a retouch without committing too much yourself. You did commit earlier on, but you get some value out of the retouch there. And a pulse bomb being used by Kurama. This cleansed out very nicely, and 2 ultimates have just like that fallen, and then Evil has found the pulse bomb onto Kurama. And that is just how the cookie crumbles. And it's looking like Quick are gonna take this first point. I don't see a recontest here happening from LiL Ducks until Kurama is back, but the respawn has already happened, so maybe there's gonna be a fight on the front lines here.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be getting a replay of that on Twitter soon sometime, because that's the kind of revenge you need. Jinx trying to get some kind of justice with this Terror Surge, but the beat will make that very, very dull indeed. A little bit better beat for Aku Fast now, gives advantage to LiL Ducks. Rory trying to hold on, has absolutely no cooldown, so someone needs to find something in the wake of his death. Fenris, connection there on to Kurama, but it's Effort that finds the finishing blow instead. So even though Quick Esports, get some nice trades at the end, it is yet again LiL Ducks that take control of this second flashpoint.
Yeah, I mean, again, I wouldn't be too upset if I was Quick there. You really did only commit the pulse bomb and the beat into that fight, and you did get that beat. Well, you kind of exchanged ultimates there, right? But at the end of the day, you didn't overcommit that much. Now you're on the retake side, and you do have that that Terra Surge closing in a little bit more, which is gonna probably be a deciding factor here. Yeah, as we're gonna see them walking up into the choke point here.
That combo, not gonna just use that as been the rushes exchange first. Ice gets caught by the bowler shot. Effort still on a tear right now. Rory trying to get some kind of an answer here. Action on the Podnova just isn't enough. Trying to push them off there, but the TP is still available, and yet again, Quick invest 2 ults there, and LiL Ducks just respond in kind. Only actually using the bowler shot, so it's 2 ults. But yeah, on this flashpoint so far, LiL Ducks have really woken up. That comfort pick, like I said, on that Arista, really coming into play here. And yet again, I don't think there'll be a touch here. We can be going straight into what could possibly be the final flashpoint, most likely. And Quick gonna have to reverse sweep here on flashpoint to maintain their lead.
Yeah, we see Effort here soft to the Cassidy, most likely in a hope to deal with that Orisa a little bit easier, as well as marking out that Freya, since Effort is putting in quite a lot of effort here to get the LiL Ducks this second map here, and they're trying to take a fight here on the crosswalk here, or perhaps just trying to delay the touch here from LiL Ducks, but it is going to be Quick who are going to be arriving at the point second here, going to have to be taking space here quite a lot, and I do think that it's going to be quite tough here, especially since you're going to be going to close range fight against a Terra Surge along with a Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, I mean, Fenris now just playing with all these closer angles. They're going to have to try and retake against the point. Stick from Kurama is going to force a lot of emphasis. Oh my god, he's done it again! He's done it again! Evil's on a mission right now. I mean, they got the last 2 flashpoints. Evil has gotten his one, and it's been delightful both times. Fenris has fallen the trades. I mean, Rory and Effort both combined their efforts to take out him there, but it's just not going to be enough. Although Podnova is running out of resources to keep himself alive, but it's a 2 versus 3, both supports available for Jinx to keep him up. And yet again, another fight that starts off pretty well, I mean very well, from the side of Evil, just doesn't end up working out. They still will have their beat to walk into, but LiL Ducks have some pretty good response of their own. That said, it's fair to say it's be quite the ult advantage here, possibly 4 ults by the time that you get onto point here, so this should be Quick Esports fights to win. And Rory's gone with the shield perk here.
Yeah, an interesting choice considering these maps go so fast, so you're probably trying to slow the tempo down a little bit here, getting rid of the javelin spin and trying to just hold these corners more aggressively, which, to be fair, if that does end up happening, they've got the advantage quite heavily. But you have to be worried about these angles coming, especially from Kurama, as a Podonova dropped down that Kiri rush. Now it's Fenris in the front lines with low HP, trying to stay alive here. Gets speared by a nice one from Jinx. But it's Jinx going to low HP here. That shield is really showcasing the power in the mid fight now. And it is going to be Quick Esports taking this very cleanly, unless there's some miracle fix going to be happening from this side of the Ducks. But it does not look like that.
Yeah, you only best the high noon. I think actually no, that's quite a lot there. I'm completely coping there as double support, I believe, as well. Nova also invested that rush, but yeah, now Little Ducks there in the ones with the driving seat. Gonna have a pretty nasty combo with both either the bowler shot or the poison to throw into his Terror Surge real quick. That'll be also their primary option. I said as well, they are coming up for beat here, 70% probably late fight. Maybe you get it online if Echo is able to farm up nice quick. But Evil trying to look for something. He's isolated there, forced to cleanse, no connection on the post bomb, just barely goes wide. In the meantime, Garu's been taken out by Kurama off on the side. He also still has his post bomb. Rory, the Terror Surge, trying to throw it out there. The Jinx will fall. Nice connection there from a lot of ults there. Boulder Shot and Terror Surge trading out there, but Rory is coming up on top. Post bomb to try and shut him down, it just barely will. Both supports are still live for Little Ducks. Aku fast there, able to get taken out by Ace. The fight is not over just yet. Maybe a last couple connection shots from the Kunai. Ace and Whitebeard able to get back in the fight just in time to clutch it out.
Yeah, and it was an expensive fight for both sides, and it is the fight that's gonna go in Quick Esports' favor here. But you do have to worry a little bit about that beat scaling, as Aku fast there is ahead. And it is going to be a tough one to beat. The aggro beat is probably going to be ultra here that there's no ult available on the board, as Kurama tries to get a pick early on, but is forced out of the recall. Rory Hart now here in the corner of the shield. We'll see how this fight plays out. Oh, nice spear early on to Aku, but does just barely not kill Aku. And now there's a fight going to be happening on point with the Kiriko rush from IS. And it does look like it's a good kite. Probably will force the point control here, but the value other than that isn't going to be too high.
I mean, you now do have your own beat online available, high noon as well, as long as they can pocket Fenris enough to buy some space, maybe get a kill. Early beat though, invested out much later beat from Little Ducks again should give them the advantage. There's the high noon now. I believe that Garu tanked that spear to ensure it gets off, but unfortunately no kills to come through. Actually, it's Fenris that goes down midst of it. Kurama on a terror now finding two and getting this point opened up. Yeah. These later beats are really just biting Quick into behind at the moment, and I don't know what's forcing it out, but yeah, they need to get this back in order to sweep back through this map, as Little Ducks now in control of point.
You have to be very, very careful here with the Terra Surge coming up as well. You can't run through this choke point too aggressively, as you will get caught in the middle of that Terra post bomb combination. But Ayaz has found a pick onto effort, and it's an effort here by Jinx to try to trade with the Terra Surge. A post bomb has been hit, and it finds two. It's a biggie, and it does kill off the off-angle pressure here from Quick, but Quick have traded it out all the same, and it's only Kurama left over without a recall, and it's looking like Quick are gonna be the one taking this fight. And it's a really good turnaround there, even throughout the loss of the core structure there with the post bomb from Kurama. You still manage to turn it around with some good aggression and some good trades here. A nice call from Quick here. Now they're on the hold side with that shield available again, and a Kiriko rush as well, as the Kiriko rush gets popped early into a bola, forces the cleanse out, and it's Rory going in very aggressive with Terrors. They're trying to find picks here. They're trying to make this a possible last fight with some staggers possibly involved here. And it's looking like Quick are... Oh, but there's a flip of the point almost happened by Kurama, but Whitebeard recognizes it early on and does deny that from happening. An expensive fight, and you have to be worried about the Kiriko rush now as well. But you have the beat coming online soon, very quickly as well from Whitebeard, charging it ridiculously fast here.
Yeah, both the supports put those ults very well, but yeah, it's gonna be Kurama on the point touch duty. Jinx getting forced out, no armor, has to invest his spin just to live there. Now Golding on the point, very squishy target now, squishy as the rest can be. That said, Shield gonna really try and keep Rory alive, and Jinx just absolutely gets pummeled. Fenris finding Kurama as well, all the big playmakers falling one by one. Domino effect spiraling down, and now that reverse sweep, I guess we manifested is now very much on the precipice of happening. 2-2 in the map score. 3 ults for the side of Quick as well. Little Ducks behind in both supports charge. This is very much Quick's, I guess, first fight to take, but they have really built back the momentum in their favor.
Yeah, and that Kiriko rush was an expensive commitment there from Little Ducks, and it did not quite work out in the favor of them. And really Quick now, without having to use anything there on that hold, is now in a very advantageous position here. You're gonna have to be worried about the high grounds here though. as effort is going to be mostly uncontested, since no one from the side of Quick can really get up there except for Evil and Whitebeard. And possibly Ice as well, but I don't think Ice wants to get up there really in the front side, as there's a high noon being popped by Fenris here. Oh, and the TP is just well timed, but doesn't manage to find the kill there. Evil, oh, and a pulse bomb as well. That's nasty work. That is nasty work. And that finishes the fight very well. You do trade out Fenris here, but I wouldn't be all too saddened by that, as you've won a fight using pulse bomb and high noon. And now you're gonna be holding this long linear choke point, which is very difficult to break. Little Ducks have a couple of options here. You're going to either to run away completely around the side and fight on point, or you're going to fight face first into a whole bundle of ultimates that are gonna hurt like hell. And it does seem like they're going to choose the main path option, look for Pulse Bomb or a possible Bola Terra Surge combination here.
Yeah, both beats online, so you want me a bit of a longer fight pitch, but Ace is trying to turn the heat up with that engagement on the Kitsune Rush. Attempted kite away Terra Surge, trying to deny that there. Sure, that's a kill onto Aku after as well, being caught there by the side, and this could be an absolutely disastrous final fight here. Maybe a couple late staggers there looking for the Kirikon, and a TP has been found. Evil though does get taken out by Podnova, no recall to save him. And so Karama and Podnova are able to get away with their lives, and that's probably the point touch ensured. Now a 3v5, make that a 3v5, Fenris able to fully use the pocket there. Apo trying to turn around, has already found one the DPS. A little bit of whip come through, but damage is there at the end. Roar and Terra Surge. Jinx does get taken out. Quick. Wait. Beat?
This is tough. I'm not sure if there was an Ajax that played there. I cannot quite see. I didn't quite see it. Okay, not an Ajax according to the voices in my head, but nonetheless, just as Quick we're about to win the map, the tides have completely turned in favor of Lil Ducks, as they've got 4 ultimates online. Evil has fallen in the Tracer of the Kurama, and Fenris has fallen into a spear, and it's only a Kirikoros being invested here by Lil Ducks into a trade onto Podonova though, but isn't really gonna matter as much as there's going to be a quick taxi onto Podonova here. And there's nothing online for Quick here. They're going to have to be they're going to farm here for a little bit. But are Lil Ducks gonna give them the time to farm here? That's the big question.
Got some nice nerve tech to come out, but yeah, you only really have a fight and a bit to work with. Not a lot of breathing room here. It's gonna be a lot of eyes on Evil with this pulse bomb. But Lil Ducks already throwing out that bowler shot and has been forced out. Beat now on top of on no available response. So again, it's all gonna be on surviving, and they are doing pretty well at the moment. Evil has a sight set, no pulse bomb connection just yet. Karama finds Fenris. Rory does get a nice trade though onto the tank, but they're also down a man. Investing now onto that Terra Surge, and might be able to get a point through. And what a nice clip from Evil. Again, the playmaker turning it around. Now sight set onto Effort with Ice building up to that Kitsune Rush just in the nick of time. Overtime now, Trigger nice finds Aku's fast again. That was a second kill too there as well. And Podonova gets collapsed on by Whitebeard and Evil. And even though things look dire, Quick managed to reverse sweep Flashpoint here, take the map score to 2-0, keep the momentum in their favor. Machu, that was a lot closer than I expected, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that is quite a series of really just changing tides there. At one point, Quick is up, but the next Lil Ducks is up, and it's all coming down to individual plays here. As you really, in my personal opinion, there's absolutely nowhere where Quick should have taken that last fight there with all those ultimates online for Lil Ducks, but they have managed to do it with good patience and really just a good punishment value there. They waited, they farmed their ults, and they got the value out of them that you needed to get. But that is quite an uphill battle, you would say, there for Quick to take that one under their books.
Yeah, I don't know how on earth. Major shout out to Ace and Gara as well for sustaining through. I like a 3 ult deficit that final fight to sustain through. You know, the trades happen, Terra Surge comes out, big clutches across the time. That's what you like to see. You like to see a team that not only can be dominant when they need to, but also have the clutch gene to kick in and take the reverse sweep to now put them at a series point here over Lil Ducks. So now I wonder, where are you going to go if you're Lil Ducks? Apparently it's going to be Circuit Royale, still waiting to see on the bans there, but yeah, I mean, you did take out the major kind of point there through bans. The rectangle ban is now extended, and even though you almost got that win, it is going to be all for naught. So it's going to be Circuit Royale we go to, I guess makes sense, right? Less of a stable ball option, but still, Rory has shown is pretty capable on the Orisa. just looks like it's full steam ahead at the moment for this new quick core.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to say that despite the wrecking ball being banned, for a lot of players, what I've heard, this map is basically the same as banning ball from them, as ball is. Well, it is quite a struggle here with how singularly linear this map is. You can't really flank all that much. I mean, the flanks you can do here are extremely long, and they take a while to set up. Where a good team will just not respect that and just go into your backline, and well, we'll see how this map turns out. But this is gonna be one of the maps where I would feel it's gonna be rough for Quick here to try to take this. I mean, the Orisa mirror did work out for them, so it's in their hands still. But this is one where I would expect them to have a bit more struggles than they have had, for example, in map 1.
Yeah, that said, the way that Fenris, was on that hit scan, that first map, and I mean, the Freya definitely was a very strong look at the start there when you're able to pair up with the ball hits. And Cassidy, we saw that a little bit kind of struggling, I think, just to find the value, at least statistically, but finding your value in different ways, of course. Like Cassidy, just kind of baiting and living and then getting those connections with the shots when you need to, and baiting the rest of the core around you. Again, they're putting all that pressure onto the front line. So yeah, I guess I'm interested to see. I'm imagining at least that Rory will be staying in the roster. Of course, Jacob is available as well if he wants to go for a brig angle here. The brig ban has been expended as well by them. And Lil Ducks have banned Farah. I'm not sure what the other ban was just yet, but what does that Farah ban suggest to you?
I think what it really means is you don't wanna deal with Farah and Circuit Royale. As
well,
it is it is something that's been used quite a bit by a lot of teams, and it is rather annoying to deal with. As this map, the top right high ground where some Pharahs tend to go for first, it's quite difficult to contest with sniper characters, which is, well, understandably a lot of people still want to play the snipers here, even though the meta has shifted away from that quite a bit with the rise of Juno. And Juno does make those sniper comps with Sigma really a pain in the ass to deal with, to be quite frank with my words. And the Golden Pants is coming in, so that means that there's going to be the with Rory, so there's going to be the Iari angle here again. Rory and the Iari. We'll see how that works out.
Jacob, we told that Jacob is not home, apparently, or he's home in 15 minutes apparently. But yeah, something. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, this map is pretty open, I think, in terms, at least I say pretty open, more open in general than Circuit has typically kind of seen as being the idea of the SIG double sniper comp having an iron grasp on this map has been kind of eroded down. The Ram ban, though, to suggest that is the style that Quick would like to play, more that kind of slow style, either, I guess, on the Orisa or likely the Sigma, if you're banning the Ramatra. And I mean, yeah, that makes sense as well. You want to take away if you're going to be playing the double flex backline of Bat Iliari, and so Golden Pants support is not something I expected to see today, but hey, I'm all here for it. He's showing the flexibility onto DPS, and Ilari is just essentially that at this point. So I have to see how it plays out in fruition. What do you expect to see from the side of Lil Ducks?
Well, if the Faraban is in play, you might go with some. Oh wait, which ways are the bans again? I'm not sure. Well, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Okay, so Lil Ducks have banned the Pharah now that my eyes work and I can see the top right corner. And well, I'm not sure what the angle is here for what they want to play. Typically with the banning of Pharah, you would maybe lean towards a Mei, eventually a more ground heavy type character, possibly a Genji in play. But it looks like it's gonna be Quick Esports who are gonna take advantage of that Pharah ban and picking the Mei here for Evil. It does offer a lot more stability for the Sigma as well when you're not going to be. Yeah, the thing that with the Mei is it does allow for the Sigma to play a little bit more aggressive, since there's going to be a side pressure it's going to have to worry about with the walls as well from Evil. It really stabilizes the comp a lot here. And we'll see how Lil Ducks approaches with a Mei of their own and Freya.
I mean, that is just a mirror, no? Yeah.
Is this a mirror? It is a mirror. It's just the players are so shuffled that I couldn't really tell, but...
Yeah, because you see Golden Pants, it can't be a mirror, but he is on Illari.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're gonna see a full mirror here. We're gonna see how both teams approach it. It does look like Quick Esports are gonna be giving quite a little bit of space here for Lil Ducks. Possibly that May to return that choke point is very respectable there to give the space. And Henry, speaking of the May, has found Kurama instantly, and now it's going to be Quick Esports running down with the orbital ring here. Don't seem to find any more picks, but just getting that space is well enough. Maybe gonna try to trap the Sigma with the Yari here onto the top right high ground. But it's gonna be a tough task to do.
Yeah, both these comps are just very good at slowing things down and really just holding into their space. Of course, they have the timing with their the speed rings to take those engagements. Mostly, it's going to be on these poke characters to try and prod around and see what openings they can find. Fenris already has that double shot effort, not too far behind. Podnova also posting over to Ray, so we're going to try to take the fight now. There's the bonus shot coming in. Evil finds Kurama. Fenris takes out the MVP. Aku fast clears a Lari pile on there, but Rory just finds himself traded out and all shielded off from his backline skills there. So what's going to be the turning point? It's going to be an investment here of the Ilario and Golden Pants just absolutely firing from the heavens and sending everyone else to hell. Finds a 3k. Look at the back of that. Basically just mostly raw willpower there. And even though Rory gets traded, it's a nice stabilization from Quick.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good fight, a good hold here to start out with, really. 2 minutes off the clock now. Will Evil be picked up here, though? Sigma Orbs can obviously hit from above. You have to be careful here. Kurama's walled off main here. And it doesn't look like Evil is barely kited out. And now it's an ultimate fight. Finally gonna be something happening here other than the Bolas. It's obviously Bola, powerful ultimate. But we're going to see the Orbital Ray in play here. And a Blizzard from Evil. Nice. It's a good wall, and Jinx has been frozen. Is Jinx gonna be thawed out? No. But it is going to be Evil finding a couple picks here. The Blizzard is traded as well from Kurama. And it's a very, very good fight for Quick here. Again, maybe a little bit expensive, but just as expensive for Lil Ducks here. Especially with that Orbital Ray being invested. Now Quick are on the front foot, are going to be able to control the tempo whenever they want. That Orbital Ray is gonna be a massive threat for Lil Ducks, especially with that wall and the combination.
Yeah, it's basically going to be on either a Flux or the Alari ult from Aku faster to find any kind of meaningful connection. But Golden Pants, 70% to his on. There's a real chance that you could lap one if the Flux play this too slow. Make that almost 80 now. Ace looking to go the Orbital Ray. There's the Flux out in response. Alari ult throwing out for Evil. What a shot! What a connection. But Aku faster does find to get one trade. Rory though with the rock connection, making effort look like scissors there and even some more life down there. Another wall again to ensure Jinx's demise. His own tomb constructed on that Circuit Royale map. And Lil Ducks only now have 40 seconds to play with him. Basically no ultimates. At best, they're going to get, you know, well, Ephemeris is gone, so that's something. Yes, that's an ultimate in its own right, but Blizzard, maybe Orbital Ray is played super slow, and Quick still have their own Blizzard and another Boulder Shot, and almost the Illari, but they are still down their Freya for the time being. Yeah,
and they're respectfully so giving space here, and possibly even trying to bait in a little bit of this Lil Ducks composition, and oh my, what a Illari ultimate there. Does find effort in midair, only 10 seconds remaining, and it's not looking like Lil Ducks are gonna be able to mount an effort here to even get this card past the cross wall.
I am so glad it's looking like a 3-0 because I don't know how many more effort puns I can take.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Quicker doing this quickly, so effort is putting in effort.
Well, yeah, to be fair, the new Quick roster's making quite quick work of this from what it looks like.
True. But,
well, yeah, we can't jinx it either here.
But, true. Yeah, we can't put an over it either. Yeah, that's big time by the voices. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it would be quite an evil thing to do. I am from my producer has asked me what I'm wearing, and I'm wearing a Quick Esports jersey with a tie. For those who are watching, I am wearing I am wearing as well some gray tuxedo pants with a belt from Wurt. But well, I bro, no one can hear you, by the way. The producers are quiet. I'm just seeming like a madman right now, which is you know, They're trying to make me do. They're trying to make me do a golden pants joke, but I'm not gonna fall into that trap.
No, I think we should. I think we should actually sell golden pants. I think Tobias needs to get on this immediately. I think that's a great idea, producers. Can you make my camera like 3 times bigger for the final, or like put it over matches or something?
But,
No, that'd be nice.
Well, like you would sell some golden pants with like a quick logo on the side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess that could work.
Literally, who wouldn't buy it? Who wouldn't buy it?
Well, I mean, if it's actual gold and I don't have money for that, I can barely afford packaged noodles at the moment.
Oh god. I mean...
But speaking of packages, let's see if Quick can put this game into a package and end this rather fastly as a go. as Golden Pants is trying to find a pick on there onto Podanova, just wasn't able to do it.
Ooh. Also, Zarek we had to play. We've seen it a little bit in Korea earlier today in the CR versus Zeta matchup. So Evil just going to be the recipient of quite a few of these bubbles just to take some space and build Rory up some energy for the time being. Also, that Social Need will do the trick nicely too. But a lot more of a rule, a lot more of a cycle here, more obvious with the quick current choice competition. But you can already see that golden box of victory. The wall's down as well, bubble in for Evil, but actually the wall is still there. But as is Evil for the time being, so a reset there. Fenris does fall, but Rory trying to surge forward with this decently high energy. No bubbles to bail him out, so he'll retreat to the corner for the time being. The wall there, that will be the one that catches onto Evil. No, never mind. The bubble will keep him alive, but no, just a bit of a stall there. Rory kind of on the island now.
Yeah, personally I'd play Reinhardt here, but that's just me.
That's
the Ramatra's in the band with the Pharah. Well, speaking of a flying character, Fenris has found the effort, but Kudom has found Fenris. Both main DPS here traded out as Rory's on a crazy high charge and trying to build up this grab early on. Only a minute and a half in here. 10% left for the grab, and that is going to probably be the changing factor if Rory manages to find it, especially with this high energy. Is walled off though, an orbital ray being popped here. You're gonna have to kite here. The grab is available still, and the grab is being popped onto Jinx. It does look like Jinx is gonna be able to live this, but Golden Man trying to get a trade here. Onto Aku Fastly, manages to find it, and now it's just these 4 DPS alive with one Juno left, and if Quick have the orbital ray, and they're going to be making pretty quick work of this, as the card is going to be reaching that golden checkpoint, and well, that's the end of the series. Golden Pants on the Yari has managed to offer, well, I wouldn't say off-roll, that looked pretty solid, but has managed to go on to a different role than we saw earlier in the series and managed to catch the W here in their debut match for Quick Esports.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Golden Pants gets to play the game here too. What on earth is that? That better be our Observer's Crosshair, please. Nope. Okay, that is just a sin then. But anyway, despite the travesty I'm seeing Crosshair-wise, that was a very elegant, very clean execution there. Of course, that I'm sure they would like that to reverse a lot closer, a lot more less of an effort to reverse sweep. But still, a 3-0, you can't be too unhappy with that, and it's a great way to welcome this new Quick main core into the Quick family. I'd like to see, of course, Jacob, if he wasn't, not at home, also get some playtime, but a warm welcome to the rest of the squad, all seeing some playtime here, and yeah, gonna be walking out the 3-0, getting even higher up on those standings already, and I mean, what are your thoughts on the match? I'm pretty chuffed.
I mean, it's a very impressive performance. As I'm wearing some lovely golden pants there below my suit and tie, but
it took me so long to see them. Everyone.
But no, a very impressive performance here, team-wise, especially here from Quick. Obviously, a lot of expectations coming into such an organization that in recent times has grown to be quite prestigious. It's looking like the performance we saw here today, if it's going to be replicated and even improved on here throughout the season, then it could be a pretty solid showing. I have to say, it's looking very, very promising. Very promising.
I'm trying to decipher who is the next matchup going to be, because I don't think the liquidity is not giving it just yet. Actually, I think it just has reset. Right. Is it going to be?
It's Vision Esports.
Matches. It's Vision Esports. Wow, that's really a trial by fire under the new name. But taking maps off them at all, showing big festive against the Violet team is definitely something that you want to aim for and want to walk away with. And yeah, no, it has been updated Wikipedia basically as we speak.
Yeah, man, as well, well, you know, I have to mention it because it was asked of me. Is that this is the quote-unquote merit derby apparently, where both of these teams are managed by the same manager.
Oh, yes, yes. I thought you
And
said merit the Korean, but no, you mean merit the
no, no,
yes,
no, no,
yes.
not the Korean, not the Korean. But yeah, I mean, it's an impressive first showing for sure. I have no clue on what to say really, other than that. Welcome to the organization. We're very happy to have you here. Even though you don't play Reinhardt, we're still happy to have you here. That's it.
I'm sure they can bust out maybe one time. Maybe
Yeah,
against
I need to
maybe
see the golden
against,
pants Reinhardt. Give me the
yeah,
golden pants
yeah.
Reinhardt against I don't know who, but someone has to
Yeah, someone
experience
has
that.
to. I'm sure we can arrange such a thing with the new players. But yeah, welcome to the team, and I think that will be us wrapping up this stream here. The sadly final stream that we observed for us by the lovely Jay. I do mean that very sincerely because it has been a wonderful observer to have on the team. And I've been, it's okay, Jay. He's crying right now. It's okay. And then also produced by Lowell stepping in. I appreciate it very much. And of course, I'm Natnif, joined by Matchu. That is going to be us ending it here for this quick stream. Hope to see you soon at some point. Until then, have a good rest of your week.
Yes,
Bye
and thank you
bye.
to the sponsors. Bye bye.
Oh yeah, thanks, sponsors.